Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Make a Change. This podcast is dedicated to help men and women to understand the principles of training, nutrition, and me being a little bit of a sciencey nerd, trying to bring it to you in an easy and simple way to understand. So today, this episode, I want to dedicate again to what I am actually doing, who I am helping, and who can benefit from my coaching. I do work with women as well as men. My field of expertise is nutrition. So I got a diploma in nutrition and health science, and as well as I am a certified personal trainer. So my field of expertise obviously is nutrition. So I am helping busy men and women to lose weight, to build muscle, to create healthy eating habits, and also really taking away the misinformation online. So that's actually my really big mission. So there's so much noise out there, like do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. And I just want to make people understand how they can find out if what they're hearing and reading and listening to, if this is actually based on evidence or if it's just some bullshit. Okay, so my coaching is called the Lean Forever method. So that is not to misunderstood that everyone who joins the Lean Forever method needs to be shredded to the bone and getting ready for a bodybuilding competition. This is actually not what I'm doing. So what I mean is that I want to help you to achieve your personal dream body. So that can look very different from person to person, and everyone feels or finds another thing attractive, and everyone is also starting at a different state of their life, So I will explain a little bit about my coaching. So my coaching is set apart into 3 different pillars. So the first pillar obviously is the nutrition and the training. So that's the base. So we are starting out with a structured training plan. So I will ask you, what is your goal? Have you ever worked out before? Have you ever worked with a trainer before? Do you know how to execute exercises? So I will ask you to film yourself doing certain exercises so I can actually see, how do you do a squat? How do you do a deadlift? How do you do a biceps curl? And based on that, I can see how you're moving. And based on that, I can create a workout that consists of exercises that work with your body. Because our goal is for you to achieve your goal, right? So, and also we need to take in your preferences, because you maybe hate a back squat. You maybe prefer using the leg press. So that's all we will understand through a conversation. And then nutrition. So I will ask you for a food diary. So based on your food diary, I can estimate your current caloric intake. Based on your body stats, I will calculate your calories as well as calculate your macros, calories and macros. So just for you to understand, I don't know how much you know about nutrition, calories, macros. Macros are proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. And this will make up your calories. So 1 gram of protein is 4 calories, 1 gram of carbohydrates has 4 calories as well, and 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. There are 2 other macronutrients that's not... Oh, look who's here. Hey, Sola, say hi. My cat just snuck in behind me. She decided that my filming chair is her napping chair. Anyways, where were we? Macros. So yeah, there are 2 other macros basically, which are not always getting announced. So the one is alcohol. 1 gram of alcohol has 7 calories, so it's very close to fat, so very calorie dense. And the other one is fiber, and that is 2.5 calories per 1 gram of fiber. Okay, so, and this will combined will be your calories, okay? So we determine then also I will ask you questions about your patterns, your lifestyle. I will ask you what are your preferences? Are you having mainly home cooked meals? Are you mainly having takeouts? Are you going out on the weekends, or are you a stay-at-home person? And all of those things are really important, because the plan that I am developing for you, they need to work with your life, because I am the person self. So I am actually a bodybuilder and I'm competing, but the competing itself, it is not my number one priority, to be very honest with you. But if I'm prepping, like currently I am prepping for a show. The show will be happening in September. And but I am only doing it if the prepping part, because prepping for a show is like hardcore. I only do it if it works with my life, because as a coach I'm quite busy. So just recently I signed up like 10 clients. So it put my workload up from here to here. So looking after 30 clients in total at the moment, it is a big job, because obviously I want to make sure, petting my cat, I want to make sure that all of my clients are being happy and looked after. So the second pillar is like intensity and adaptation. So when you start with me, starting with a structured training plan, having nutrition that works with your goals, with your lifestyle, with your personal taste preferences, you will see changes very quickly. So you have changes, for example, if your goal is fat loss, you will have already a notice that your clothes are fitting better. They may be sitting a little bit looser. Your energy levels will be increasing. Your sleep will be better. You will be waking up fresher. Sorry guys, that's not me. So my camera is sitting on a tripod and my cat is trying to push it over. So it will happen a few more times, just giving you a little heads up. Then, where were we? Yeah, and your body will be adapting very quickly. That is very normal, and this is exactly the feedback I'm getting from my clients as well. So therefore, we have to make sure that the intensity of your workout is progressing as well. So your body can keep adapting, meaning can keep changing. The third pillar is knowledge and tools. So because when you are leaving my coaching program, so my coaching program is 16 weeks. When you're leaving that, I want you to be at a state that you never ever need another coach again to maintain your results, okay? So of course there are many different coaches out there, and every coach has like a different field of expertise. It depends of your goals may be changing, but when you're leaving me, I want you to understand the basic science of nutrition and training. I want you to understand the physiology of your body, how your body actually works, and I want you to understand how to differentiate misinformation about nutrition training online, big pharma, and what is actually based on evidence, and how to find out what is bullshit and what is evidence, okay? Because also that bullshit outside, it sounds very professional, because they're using big sciencey words, but those people often don't know what those sciencey words actually mean. Okay, so that is like an overall of how the coaching with me works. So the foundation, starting with 1 to 2 weeks, we're going into the intensity, and then we're going into the final state where we making sure that you have what you have learned and the goals that you have achieved is set in your brain, is set in your body, so that you're never ever falling back to the old habits, okay? So that is the coaching. So then the age of the people I'm working with. So it is actually a very big range. So the main range of age is late 30s to late 50s. So I have worked with men and women in their 60s. So the last male client I signed up was 65 years old, just survived cancer and wanting to get fitter and stronger after chemotherapy. But also I signed up a girl who is 18 years old and a young man of the age of 29. So that range is quite big, but the majority is like late 30s to late 50s. So that's the majority. But I don't push someone away if that person is younger or older, because I will have a conversation with everyone, and then based on what we are talking about, I make a decision if I am able to help or not. Okay, so because I have to be transparent with you. There are some things that maybe it's outside my scope of practice. So there are some things like if someone is actually sick and has a heart disease, for example, and needs a certain nutrition strategy for that heart disease, I'm not qualified for that. Full stop. I'm admitting it, and if I would take this person on, I would probably harm this person rather than helping this person. So, but as long as you don't have a heart disease, I'm very confident that I can help you. So hey cat. So mainly I'm helping people with, sorry, I'm distracted. I'm helping people, as I said, with losing weight, building muscle, building the confidence. So this is the next point I wanted to talk about. So often I have people coming to me at any age, or I don't have confidence, I need to build up my confidence. It's okay. Confidence is built up by taking action. So this is usually, it comes often in the end of our conversation before we making a decision if we start working together or not. Is often I get the objections of I'm not ready, or I have to talk to my partner, or I do that when my life gets less busy, or I do that when the time is right, or when I have saved up some more money. So money is often the biggest thing. And let me tell you, and you maybe disagree with me, when you tell me, or when you tell any coach, I can't afford it, it sounds all beautiful and I really think you can help me, but I can't afford it. It is not about the money, okay? So I believed it at the very beginning when I started working in my job. I believed it. I said, oh yeah, I can understand, but I learned, okay? So it is never about the money. There might be occasions when it's really about the money and that person is really fucking broke. Then I'm sometimes asking myself, why are you here if you can't afford it? Because any service is not for free. I know I sound like an asshole right now, but you are approaching a professional asking for help. And then you say, yes, I got this. Yes, I got this. I need help with this. Your program sounds amazing. Yes, you can help me. Then the price drop and, oh no, I can't afford it. There is something below the surface. There's something more behind it. It is, maybe you don't trust me. But often it's not really that you're not trusting me, because I'm telling you everything what you get of me. That is a lack of trust in yourself. You don't trust yourself, you can take it. Time problem, oh, I'm super busy. Yeah, so is everyone else. You probably work 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 or whatever and have maybe the weekend off. I know there are a lot of people out there who don't have regular working times, who do work on the weekends, but I also do have a lot of clients who are nurses, who are FIFO workers, and they're all finding the time. Because what I do is I look at your time schedule. You obviously have to give me your honest time schedule, otherwise I wouldn't know. And then we work around you. So I give you a little example. So I signed up last year, a client of mine. Was it last year? Yes. March or April last year, if I remember right. She's still a client of mine, and I actually signed up her husband too. So Emma told me she has applied for another job, and she has got a new job. So she was working from home, but now she has to travel to an office. So she works in an office environment again, has fixed working times, and she told me that because she also has a child, she told me that because of that she has to travel now for work, and she doesn't really have the ability to have her own time schedule. Her time frame will change, and then after work she has to go pick up the son from school and all these kind of things. And she asked me, how can we get around this? And so thank you for asking. This is exactly what coaching is all about. Coaching is not giving you a nutrition plan and giving you a workout plan and then here move on with your life. Coaching is so much more. Coaching is really going beneath the surface, really looking at how can we make things work for you despite your job, despite money. So we can work around money, we can work around time, we can work around your lack of confidence, the lack of trust in yourself. This is exactly where coaching comes in, finding strategies. So this client, Emma, she asked me, how can we work around it? And I adjusted her workout program in a way that it would work with her new time schedule. So for example, we had a lot of unilateral exercises, so we cut out those unilateral exercises and replaced them with bilateral exercises, because a big concern from both of us was, I do not really want to reduce the volume of your work and the amount of working sets for the muscles that are important to you. But of course, I understand that we need a little bit shorter workout. So we took out the unilateral exercise and replaced it with bilateral exercises. I cut out a few exercises of muscle groups she actually doesn't care about and really concentrated on the main exercises that bring her fun and it also benefits her to reach her goal. And so she is actually very, very happy because she has lost 7 kilograms so far. We started right at the beginning, we only started with strength because she wanted to increase her strength, and then a few months later, I think just in the end of the year, end of last year, 2025, we started her fat loss phase. Now it's mid of March and she has lost 7 kilograms. And we had a break in between as well. So we can really work around things. So when someone tells me, oh, I can't afford it, it is the lack of confidence and the lack of trust in yourself. It is often logistical problems, is often with time and jobs and these kind of things, but it is all possible if you are willing to do that. So often we are procrastinating and waiting for a better time, but I can tell you there is no better time than now. So if you're waiting for a time to be ready, you will never be ready. And from my personal experience, I can tell you starting in the worst time possible is the best way because it prepares you for the impossible. Finding out that nothing is impossible, if that makes sense. Okay, so another big topic that is has risen up with when I got older. So because I started with everything in my late 20s, early 30s. I am now 38 years old. So of course with me getting older, my audience has become older as well. So a lot of women I work with, they are in the start of the perimenopause or sometimes in the middle. It's very different from woman to woman. So that brings up a lot of challenges. A lot of women, they feel fatigued, they feel like misunderstood, they feel very frustrated because all of these women who come to me and telling me that they always have been slim, they always have been exercising and eating healthy and doing a lot for themselves, but then suddenly they started gaining weight and they just don't know what happened. So it is a topic that hasn't been really publicly discussed in a very long time. Only like in the recent years, I feel like this topic has become more open, that people really more openly talking about women's problems, like starting when they hit puberty, then possible maybe a pregnancy, and then perimenopause, post-perimenopause, all of those things, what a woman is going through. It is like more and more spoken about, which is really, really good. So, and of course, because my audience has gotten older, I have to adapt as well. And perimenopause and the physiology, the change in body, this is something I'm very educated about. So when you hit perimenopause, your metabolic rate is dropping by roughly 200 to 300 calories. So your metabolic rate is depending on your muscle mass. Okay, so the more muscles you have, the higher your metabolic rate. The more you can eat, and the more you are able to maintain your body weight at a higher amount of calories. From the age of 30, you start losing muscle mass if you're not helping it by eating a high protein diet and by lifting weights. So we already know that. But then we do not know how do we regulate perimenopause, how do we navigate training and nutrition when we're feeling like shit, when we are feeling fatigued, when we're feeling like everything is working against us. So let's take it back again to the metabolic rate. So we know now that the metabolic rate is based on the muscle mass. So we have to make sure that we are continuing lifting weights and eating a high protein diet. Then our nutrition needs to be adjusted. So let's say you were able to maintain your body weight at 2000 calories. Now it is 1700 calories. So don't get fixated of those numbers. I'm just having an example. That can again look very different from woman to woman. So if you're still eating as you used to be eating after hitting perimenopause, you will gain weight. So there is a fluctuation, not a fluctuation, a change in hormone as well. So estrogen, which we know is the female sex hormone, that hormone, when that is high, that is the one that makes us feel good, makes us focus, makes us strong. So that estrogen is bind to muscle mass. So when estrogen is declining, which is happening when you hit perimenopause, your muscle mass is declining as well. And then, because of the decline in estrogen, the decline in muscle mass, the metabolic rate comes down. So if you not make a change in your nutrition, you will keep gaining weight. So what that means is you need to start tracking your nutrition. So a lot of people actually quite happy to do that. So I have a few conversations when people tell me, nah, I don't want to do it. But actually, I have to say that 90%, if not even 95% of the people who are starting working with me are actually very happy to give it a go. So, because when we are using what a lot of my clients did before they started working with me, is they used ChatGPT as their calorie calculator or their coach. So let's say they put in ChatGPT, they put in all the information, and I believe that they are putting everything in that they would be telling me as well. And then ChatGPT gives them some numbers. So I actually did a test with myself. So with the start of my prep for the bodybuilding show, I calculated the numbers for myself, and then I put it all in ChatGPT and said, hey, Susie, my ChatGPT is called Susie. So, hey, Susie, I am this height, I am this weight, I got 16 weeks to go to attend my bodybuilding show and I need to be shredded. And it actually gave me a really, really good structure at first sight. So it told me, oh yes, Kate, we can do this. It is really harsh and it's really challenging, but it is doable. And it gave me week by week instructions what I have to do week by week. And I thought, that's pretty good. And even the number was almost adding up with my calculation, which I thought, AI really got better. Then I did another test. So I opened a new chat and put in the same information again and told Susie, okay, Susie, give me the plan. Do you know what it gave me? A completely different number. And so, interesting. So, and then, AI is good. AI is getting better and better and better. And I am a big fan of AI, but I don't trust it 100%. So I use it for my own business. I do use it to give me ideas or to make my work more effortlessly, I guess, because it can help me to really speed up my systems. But I do not use it to create calories and meal plans for my clients. This is still all me, because what I found out for myself is that ChatGPT is still very inaccurate. So, ChatGPT is not a coach. I think this is still very human, but eventually we will get there. But we will see. We will see. So, for example, a recent discussion I had with a prospect on a Zoom call was that she was tracking everything. By tracking was putting it into ChatGPT. But she felt really, really hungry because she was eating a very, very low amount of calories. And I was like, I didn't really make any note of that. I think it is not right. So I'm listening to everything. And then I will make a professional and informed decision. And I just thought, those calories, they do not sound very good. So those amount of calories, they might be right for her. She didn't end up signing up with me, but so I couldn't do a calculation because I didn't have her stats. But that amount of calories she told me, it might be the right amount of calories that she needed. Might be. But the problem was, she was really, really focused on data, which I really liked. She was not going too much about her emotions. She was really trying to figure it out using data, using researches, which I really loved. But then she was hungry and eating. She told me, like, I'm hungry, then I have a snack here and I snack there. And this is where she probably ended up in a possible calorie surplus because she was gaining weight over time. So obviously she was not at maintenance or even in a calorie deficit. So she has at this point not realized that she was lying to herself. And this is what makes me a little bit sad, because I do want to help everyone, but I am aware that I can't help everyone. And what I find really, really important is that coach and possible client, we need to be aligned with our values. We need to have an understanding. Otherwise, the coaching will be quite a headache. So what I want to say is, if you are doing everything, and I believe you that you're doing everything, but you do not see the results and do not want to invest in getting help, then it is your decision. It is your decision. But then don't get angry that what you're doing is not working, because if you signing up to something and booking into a Zoom call and actually showing up to the Zoom call and then procrastinating and then ending up in like not doing it because you're scared, maybe you you're saying it is expensive. So yes, it is expensive. But what is more expensive, the price you're paying today or the cost in long term that you're feeling bloated, uncomfortable, and just like unhappy about yourself? So I have invested in myself. I need to lie about the number right now. I have invested in my health and fitness $8,000 something dollars. And I have invested in business and self-development, because that was really the part, specifically self-development as well as business. These were the parts I didn't know about much. So I really needed help with that. And I invested $35,000 in that. And I was so scared of investing that money, because I like, that's a shitload of money. But I knew I needed that help, and I was scared. And I didn't have that amount. I had this amount actually sitting in my savings account, but I'm that kind of person who is saving money for the unexpected. Okay? And I believe, like, I am German, and I grew up with money is something that is not allowed to be spent. I grew up with having money sitting in the savings account for bad times. Spending money is nothing that you do. If you spend money, making sure that you spend the least amount possible. I really had to learn to invest in myself, and that sometimes you have to spend money first before you to feel good and to be successful. That is either in my case with business or with your health and fitness. If you do not know what you're doing, you need to invest. And as I said, I was so fucking scared of investing those $35,000, but it was the best decision of my life. And I did not want to give the whole $35,000, even though I could have. So we decided on a payment plan, and it was the best decision of my life. And it was so scary. I did have at this time, I wasn't confident enough, and I did have a trust in myself that I can really achieve what I wanted to achieve. I did sort of trust that person I signed up with, but sort of not, because before I signed up with that person I'm working with, I was with another business mentor and he burned me. So I really had a very, very bad experience with one of the business mentors I had before. And I was really, really resistant to put my money into another business mentor, because I didn't want to be burned again and to like waste my money for nothing. And so I invested again. And yeah, it was the best decision of my life. And this is just something I do. I'm not scared anymore to make my decisions very fast, because deep inside me, deep inside my gut, I know it is, if it's the wrong or right decision. Even if my head is saying, don't do it, Kate, don't do it, Kate, and my gut says, go, 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 I usually listen to my gut. I still have my logistic. I'm not shutting out my brain, not at all, because I am personally a quite data-driven person myself. But I did have a few questions. So before I signed up with this lady, I did ask her questions of what is it exactly that she was offering? What is the experience with her clients? Can she give me evidence of her success with other clients? I did ask all of those things, if she has evidence for me of what she's done. And she gave me all of the evidence. She answered all of the questions that we had, and down to the evidence that she was able to answer all of my questions and that she was able to give me proof. I signed up. I said, okay, if others can do it, I can do it. And that is my little speech for the day. So I hope you did like this little episode. It went a little bit long, but there was a lot to cover. And I want you to reach out to me if you do have any questions. I'm very happy to answer anything you have. I put down here my Instagram. So on Instagram, I'm the most active. So I put up 2 to 3 posts a day, so where you can really see and understand my thinking, what I'm doing, how I work. So you can really get a lot of my personality out of my Instagram, and hopefully from this video as well. And there is a few links in the description where you can sign up for a free call with myself and also for one-on-one coaching. And yes, this is everything. I hope you did like this episode, and I see you in the next one.